Hello, welcome to another episode of Flash Zellow, Fiction Done Fast. The show where I take a bunch of writing prompts from my friends and turn them into one-page short stories for your entertainment. How's everybody doing this evening? We're having a crisis back behind me from the sapling.
That's me.
She's a tree.
I'm a tree.
You're a tree?
I'm a tree.
Why are you a tree?
Because I was mistaken for a child.
Because she was mistaken for a child. Are you a child?
I'm small.
You are small. I think you're just a hobbit.
Yeah.
No, she had one last thing to sew before I went live. And then, tragedy struck.
My bobbin jammed.
Her bobbin jammed. But that's okay. We will make it work, and it's not like I have anything important to say on here, so... It's true.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt, so.
You don't want to interrupt?
No.
Well, then why are you?
Listen. First off, rude.
Rude?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm trying to stream here,
Oh, no.
and you're interrupting.
Uh-huh.
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 That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else would you call it? What else would you call it? A bit?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. It's always my life is a bit. This is a bit.
That's all I needed to do.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. And then I can pin everything together. I'm gonna go feed the cats.
Okay. Tell them I said hi.
I will.
We take care of some stray cats around the neighborhood. Alright, well, let's just jump right into it, see what we got, see what we can come up with. So, starting off, we've got a couple of prompts. We'll see what we, if any of them jump out at me. So we've got, from Tincture, we've got noir detective-style story about a character stuck in a Home Depot. We also have, he was stuck in a house for a year with only a box of sociopathic cereal to keep him fed. How will he reason with the grains in time to not starve? Only time will tell in the next thrilling episode of The Serial Killer. Veramet89 gave us, the Angel of Death has a serious sit-down with his inept younger cousin, Natural Selection. You're incredibly good, Swooby gave us, you're incredibly good at making decisions, but only in a very narrow field, and you're bad at the rest of the decisions. Alex B gave us, no one is too ordinary for our agency. The floor tasted like... ideas swirling in my head. The copy machine broke down in the middle of printing, which made this the third worst thing that has happened to me this morning. You dragged me into this hellhole, but you can't make me leave. Then Dune Harper gave us, the blue wall's all he can look at. If he looks at anything else, all he can see is his son. White blood cells protect the body against germs through rap or poem battles. Hades is real sick of dealing with all the deaths his brother Zeus causes. Romeo's into men, but is too socially anxious to tell Juliet. Poncho and Lefty try to rob a bank. Poorly. An espionage agent tries really hard not to be Solid Snake for a mission, but fucking can't. A local play of Hamlet, but both the lead and their understudy got in an accident, so an extra has to wing it. My name is Jonas, he repeated again and again because he couldn't get the goddamn song out of his head. Lil Noise Marine dropped us, a man suffering with extreme depression while being overjoyed. A woman is at work when she notices an old landline emergency phone hanging on the wall. She's never really paid attention to it before, thinking it must no longer be connected, when it suddenly rings. Atanchi gave us, two characters fall in love despite barely understanding each other, both bad at English between them, so they end up making their own language, mixing all three. A sphinx tries to come up with Scarlet Fury gave us a sphinx tries to come up with new riddles because humans have memorized all of the answers to all of her old ones. Oh fuck, I'm so bad at riddles. That's why she's used the same ones for 2,000 years. And then from Renegade Radio, we have, I would love to see a short story of what you think is happening in this scene. And actually, I just remembered, I got prompts the other day. I just reread them, and yep, those are the exact kind of prompts I expect from this process by now. Okay. Formatting's weird. Okay. So this is from Swooby. The first one is, you can breathe dirt, and somehow this gets you laid. Already back, huh?
It was just Jagger and Pretty Lady.
Gotcha.
So yes. It's also cold outside.
Oh no. You are not terribly well dressed for the cold.
No.
Oh, did you haven't heard the two prompts I got from Swooby?
Yeah.
You can breathe dirt, and somehow this gets you laid.
Huh.
And things were looking bleak after the botched cybernetic upgrade to your left hand, but you finally found your calling as a contender in the World Speed Knitting Championship.
Excellent.
So there you go. See what I can come up with for the 138th Flash Fiction story. What's that? It is a truth universally acknowledged. Magical. It's a truth universally. Hello, Trilobitten. You have triggered the auto mod.
Auto mod.
Yeah, Trilobitten said a dirty word.
Oh no.
He said hi diddly ho. I suppose I shouldn't reward bad behavior like this, but I'll allow it. I'm allowing the... And I hope you only use your newfound powers for good, Trilobitten. How is Flanderese a dirty word? How isn't Flanderese? I'ma say dang. So, Trilobitten, how you doing tonight? I appreciate you popping by. Things were really, really quiet. Too quiet. I mean, not too quiet. I just, started writing. So low. Not bad, just making dinner after working late and getting sucked into my D&D module. Oh, shit! How do we save you? We've got to get him out. Trilobitten. Say Jumanji. I think that's how you fix it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nah, it's better here, LOL. That checks out. That makes sense. Let us in? Let us in? No work projects in the land of Murad. Oh, I thought you were just escaping from the global pandemic and the... Just haywire flamebolt crossbows and talking dogs. 'Tis a nice land. So what? I'm curious, Trilobit. What, in your opinion, goes into making a D&D module? Because like I've never used one. I ran a game for a couple of years, and I mean, you were in it. You ever have that problem where you're like, you associate people? There's not a crossover between you and your character and my game, and you and the stream, and it actually took a second to be like, no, it's actually the same person. Um, you know, it's one of those moments, Scarlet Fury, where I read the first thing and went, my toes. I was like, I don't want to know what follows. I have too many friends who are weird. I can tame multiple toes. Honestly, I never actually used a module either, to be fair. I'm only doing this one module style so I can hopefully run it with a bunch of different groups. My toes are frozen. Oh god, the return of the robes. Yeah, actually, Scarlet Fury, have you considered that you're underdressing for the work you're doing? I don't know if you know this, but it's February. Not every place is this vacation spot of the mountains of Utah. Floor wraps. But cowboy boots are not built for warmth. Every part of my my growing up and escaping away from my Midwest upbringing, just like, ugh. I had cowboy boots as a kid. It's fine. I just wear my, I just wear. I've been wearing these boots for. I wore I got this style of boots, and then I wore them for 3 years where I walked every single day, and wore through them eventually. I just bought another pair, and I've had these for about a year, and they're great. That's okay, Scarlett. I appreciate your footwear. As sweet a sentiment as that, I don't know if anyone should be trusting Trilobitan's fashion sense. Tell me I'm wrong. You're like, I don't want to get in the middle of this. Actually, no. What?
So there's nothing wrong with plaid.
Khaki and plaid. I like them. They're comfortable and protect my toes from 1,000-pound horses. Well, I mean, there's a really simple solution to that. You just don't deal with horses. Problem solved. I'm a genius. Hey, now there are a lot of English professors who appreciate my getup. Well, yeah. Your wardrobe is as dated as the books they read. Also, I don't know if anyone's reading this as I'm writing or if they're just kind of waiting for me to do the thing, to read it after the fact. But this is definitely, I'm going to say two things. I'm going to say this is one of the weirder fucking things I've written. And two, I've been watching a lot of Corridor Digital. I won't explain any more than that. So, let's hear how this turned out, shall we? is a truth universally acknowledged that a person will never know the true depths of human stupidity until they work retail. Second place goes to managing a group of Silicon Valley tech bros. As was the day that Nick stepped onto the open floor plan of the office, only to find that his employees gathered around in push-up positions, licking the concrete floor. What in the ever-loving fuck are you doing? The three white dudes sprang to their feet. Ah, it was his idea, said the youngest and most puppy dog of them, Will, pointing at Christian, a strong-jawed, wannabe actor with schizophrenic combination of zen and high-strung energy. The kind you could only find in California. Okay, I admit, it was a weird impulse to lick the floor, but what? Nick demanded. It's a dirty floor, and I know you haven't cleaned it. Okay, yeah, but I found something. What could you possibly find? Christian held up his hands. The floor tasted like floor. No, the floor tastes like floor? No, Christian said. Grapes. Floor grapes, Will said. As he stood there, Nick ran the numbers on firing and hiring an entire team before deciding against it. Just, all of you, get out of here. Go home and come back tomorrow. Nick put his hands on his hips as he watched the dejected tech bros wander out of the studio. Once they were gone, he dropped the act inside. He dropped to his knees. It's okay, baby. They didn't figure out our secret. Nick licked the floor.
That's silly.
You're silly.
Yeah.
Well, I guess then you would know. I got a bunch of laughing, crying, laughing emojis, and then Trilobitten says, God damn it. Something the matter, Trilobitten? Is this not the high art that you were promised? Floor grapes, the greatest of memes. Ah. I mean, where else could this have gone? Maybe if someone else wrote this, it would have been different, but 'twas I. Lord of the Floor Grapes. So let's see. I keep forgetting that we've got so many stories now that we can't or it's not efficient to just scroll back to the beginning. Oh, and since you guys weren't here, I don't think at the start, I'm guessing you missed the 2 new prompts we got from Swoopy. You can breathe dirt, and somehow that gets you laid. And things were looking bleak after the botched cybernetic upgrade to your left hand, but you finally find your calling as a contender in the World Speed Knitting Championship. I just thought you guys would want to know. I read the you can breathe dirt and somehow this gets you laid, and I was like, so it's the shape of water meets tremors. Cool. Justice for the lefties knitters. Do you knit, Trilobitten? You feel like somebody who would knit. See, when I just picture Trilobitten in my mind, it's just a New England grandmother. No, not you, Scarlet Fury. You don't conjure to mind a New England grandmother. You're not nearly repressed enough. I have tried many a time, but I lack the attention span.
Knitting's the worst. Crochet is better.
I wouldn't know. I don't do shit. I do it to keep my hands busy. I just masturbate. I'm not gonna lie, half the time I say something to get a reaction out of her and she doesn't hear it.
What?
Nothing, dear.
Okay.
We have fun here. I just killed the chat dead. I used to do it to help me pay attention in middle school, otherwise I'd draw and then I couldn't pay attention. I just didn't pay attention in middle school. Or high school. Or various parts of college. I still remember one of my favorite moments was, I think masturbating would have been frowned upon. You didn't specify that this was in public? Like, the other night when we were all on Google Meets, I was like fiddling the whole time because I just like I keep these coins next to the desk so that I have something to just like move. Apparently Twitch frowns upon it. Oh no. Yeah, that's fair. Don't tell us you were fiddling with something while talking with us right after we mentioned your masturbation habits. Only when Nick was on. He's just so pretty. Might I suggest the mandolin for a hand busier? I swear I learn more songs when I'm bored at work. I'm not much of a musician in that, like, I used to play violin and then I just got bored. It was not my preferred form of artistic expression. Although my father still bitches at me about it. Ba-doom, psh. I used to be really good at the clarinet. I could hear a song and replicate. I could do none of that. So I'm gonna playing my clarinet needs a part replaced. Oh no. Time to DIY it. Make your own. Buy a 3D printer. It's never good with the non-woodwinds. Sorry, I forgot that you started on bagpipes. Trilobin, I don't mean this with any disrespect. I don't think. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I'll let you be the judge. But there's something about you that is so basic, but so, like, it's so off the wall, and yet there's never a part of me that's, like, at all surprised. It's the equivalent of, like, I mean, this was a joke from the same comedian I talked about last night, where it's just like, what was it? So what if she's got a picture of Audrey Hepburn catty corner to a picture of the Eiffel Tower, catty corner to the words "Live, Laugh, Love" framed in Christmas lights. It's like, how'd you know? Because of course you do. That's my reaction to you. I don't know. You're not a basic white girl. You're basic, honey.
Mm-hmm.
What is Trilobitten? They're basic. I don't know. Trilobitten, what are you? What are you the basic version of? 60-year-old? I don't actually know nearly as many 60-year-olds who are as, like, open and upfront about their, hallucinogens. No, I think for you it's like, you're the guy I expect to work at, like, a national park, you know? Yeah, you are the Yellowstone guy. I think that's the cloth you're cut from. I'm sorry to say. It's fair. That was my original career choice. Yeah, like it just fits really well. Lord knows what mine is. I mean, young author on social media definitely fits your vibe, IMO. But that's, like, okay, here's the question, though. Is that really, like, a thing? You seem to be the archetype of the guy who owns a bookstore, not the one who's enthused to work there. The other guy. Oh. You mean... Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You mean Bernard Black? By the way, this show is created. Yes. This show was created by an asshole, transphobic piece of shit, from what I understand. But the show itself is still quite funny. I'm never going outside again unless I need someplace to throw up. It's so good. Scarlet Fury, did you ever watch this show? Have you ever heard of it? It looks like a horse in a man costume. I'm a quitter. I come from a long line of quitters. It's amazing I'm here at all. So it's about, like, the most just nihilistic man running a bookshop. There's no such thing as friends. There's just enemies you haven't met yet. You can find work and sort your life out anytime. The pub closes in 5 hours. It's amazing. I will drink heavily and shout at you. There are so many good quotes. My 40th cigarette this afternoon. That deserves a star. It was also just on YouTube for quite a while. At least the first season is. It's just sitting there. It's good. Alright, back to what we're doing. Little Noise Marine busts down the door. Hello, my lord. You gonna put the door back? Just bust it down. Hello, my lord. And then just very, very nicely just put it back. It's a story my mom told once of a fight that she and dad had back during his drinking days. He got so angry that instead of opening the door, he grabbed the door and ripped it off its hinges. And then set it down and walked away. Well, no need. to my internet, so I'm in audio mode only for a bit. Well, that's fine. You get to avoid looking at me. Win-win for everybody.
No.
What?
No.
What?
No.
Okay. It pulls out Melta. What's a Melta? Oh, is this the... it's bringing up Warhammer 40k. This might be outside my round of... It'd be a shame if something were to happen to the door. I mean, it is my only door. Let's see. Deep light of faint glow. It's the orcs. Incinerates door. Oops. It's coming out of your allowance. And no trips to the mall for you. You can hang out with your friends after you replace my door. Goddamn heretics busting indoors. Apparently, Trilobitten is now the father in this bit scenario. Just Daddy Space Marine, may God have mercy on me for typing that. So let's see if Sans, but I can't decide on how to write about the day of Nightside. Well, one, we are not... We're not... I'm not letting Trilobitten get off for Daddy Space Marine. I'm gonna, like, write that somewhere. You gotta get that tattooed. Like, this is now a thing. I'm not gonna let it go. God didn't like that. I'm telling all our friends to call you Daddy Space Marine. Next prompt. There it is. I was planning to write stuff about the endless sea of sand, but I can't decide. I'd rather write about the day or night side. I'm not familiar with the endless sea of sand. Is that also a thing? Doesn't look like it. At least Google's not turning up anything. I don't even play Space Marines. Well, you do now. The endless sea of sand is a thing I made a while ago. Hell yeah. Just picturing the... I have nothing to go on. My brain skipped to Return to Oz, the sequel to Wizard of Oz with the Deadly Desert. Where's I don't know if Scarlet Fury's still here. I'm waiting for yeah, I remember that. You made us watch it. I'm pretty sure I made them watch it back in like high school. Lol, I thought about it. Hey, there it is. Both, actually. I don't have a Discord. I still haven't figured out Discord. But you are also a fucking lemon, so. But I have you a hard time last time you brought it up. Bruh. Hey, nothing wrong with lemons. Okay. I do vaguely remember you giving me a hard time last time. It's a wild movie, especially if you're going into it expecting anything at all tonally similar to the original film, where you're just walking and you're like, oh, this is like weirdly traumatizing in the way that only 80s kids movies could be. Yeets, yeet, stick. Yeets, yeet, stick. Yeet. Yeeted the yeet stick. First the door, now the yeet stick. You're gonna leave me with nothing. I think Jimmy James Jameson is the best name I've ever done. That is certainly a name that would get your ass kicked in school. Or, I don't know, popular. Could go either way with kids. I don't know, man. Could always flip a coin. I've heard them say that when you flip a coin, once it's in the air, you know which way you want it to land. Oh, you see, you just changed that and spell one of them with a C. As one who lives in the hood, it can confirm. And boy, you must be out of place in the hood, friend. You probably look about as out of place as I used to at the old Vegas punk parties. Just thinking about that College Humor video again. I've seen crust punks suck each other up in the guitar case of a weeping busker. His stuff is so good. Anyways, don't mind me. Son Sam Smith Rockwell. There you go. Exceptionally out of place, yes. I was once asked if I was one of Sherman's guys at a bar by a very threatening Georgia redneck. Sherman's guys? As in Sherman's March to the Sea? That Sherman? I have been brushing up on my trap music, though, so we're coming along. Trap music and bagpipes. That guy held a grudge. Glowing pale albino. Yeah, no, it checks out. Derps around. Finds us magazine under the bed. What this? Can't be trusted in suspicious magazines. I'd say yeet it, but you got rid of the yeet stick, so. Yeah. We live here now. Okay. I was just thinking in 2021, who even do kids these days even recognize a magazine? All right. Good. Okay. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna step away for a short bio break. I'll be right back to read the story, and then we'll probably wrap things up then. Sound good? Sound good. I really need to come up with a be right back sign. Yee. Hey, I'm back. Hope everyone was, as Coffee Cools would say, good beans in the chat. Alright, let's read this. So, the prompt on this one was a bit unique. I like the experimental ones. This was from Renegade Radio. You know, I'd love to see a short story of what you think is happening in this scene. And this is a really, really low quality image of something they painted. So, I tried my best. I don't think this is a disclaimer, but this is the first time when I was first starting out, this was very much the style of fantasy stories that I tried to write. I would almost call it overwrought, highfalutin, a little cringe, maybe even try hard, but it felt appropriate for this image. So, we'll see how it turned out. Kalia's hooves clicked and clacked against the stone as they wound deeper into the caves. Deep light, a faint glow, illuminated the fawn's path. They had no fear of getting lost in the twinkling caverns. The heart was near. Kalia could feel it pulsing, its life force rippling across their fur and skin. They were so close now. Kalia ducked down low, angling their antlers as they entered the heart of creation. Kaleidoscopic crystals rose from a pool of mercurial glass, a rippling surface that reflected light, until the entire cavern was illuminated. The entire cavern, except for the distant starfields that watched from above. One by one, they winked out of existence. Only here in the heart of creation could Kalia see the damage that was being done, the darkness that was coming. Only here did Kalia have a chance to stop it before it was too late. Magic arced between their fingers, humming at each fingertip as incandescent energy cascaded into the air, swirling before the fawn, creating a luminescent sphere that hovered just out of reach. But it was not enough. Even as the distant stars continued to vanish, Kalia knew it was not enough. They were not enough. But they were here when no one else was. Even as despair crept around the edges of Kalia's consciousness, they held on. The beauty of the stars looking down on them was enough. It was enough. It had to be. Kalia gave more than they had. Gave until they gave out. The fawn vanished. The darkness began to recede. The stars glittered back into existence. So, I think that turned out pretty okay. How about you guys? I dig the atmosphere. I'm glad. Again, I haven't done a story like that in a very long time. I mean, you guys, you can tell. You've been on this stream for most of the duration of what I've been doing, so, you know that I don't really dig into that style nearly at all anymore. Because it just was such a, I don't know, not a crutch, but just, it was something that I needed to get away from in order to learn how to do it well. Because, if I bring up that old stuff, I swear to God, you would go oh, I see it, but it's not good. Actually, I can, just the first paragraph. Was it draft 3, third draft? This was, so Trilobit, and you actually read the rewrite of this. I'll just read the opening. I'll pop that over here. Chronicles of Eternity Overture. So this was, oh gosh, 2013. So 8 years ago, approximately. 19 days after the fall, the world lingered in a hushed gloom of perpetual twilight where the sun had forgotten to rise. Night had yet to fall, and human existence had faded into a forgotten silence. The vague silhouette of the drifter was barely contoured against a skyline that hinted early dusk, a silent witness to the condemnation of the heavens. He stood now upon the crumbling edge of a formerly grand structure, a triumph of human domination, now nothing more than a vacant reminder of humanity's fall. The world had been burned alive, the myriad accomplishments of humanity extinguished, and the wreckage left in their wake was no more than a fleeting tombstone of... Oh, you can tell... What? Stoomtown. You can tell I really enjoy reading this. I'm like... what was it? Stoomtone?
Stoomtone!
A fleeting stoomtone of humanity's ephemeral achievements, the evanescence of their lives. The drifter thought on this and laughed. It was a harsh laugh, weighed down by the pains of experience, but it was not without its forgiveness. So yeah, I don't write like that terribly often anymore. Again, needed to get away from that just a wee bit. Until I learned you can have it back when you've learned that you don't need it. Alright. Well, guys, on that note, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I got my 2 stories done. That was the first week back from our break. So I will not be back tomorrow. I will be back on Friday. Me and my Stoom Tones. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, let's see. Who, if anyone... Let's say we are going to raid Raven Rights. How's that sound, guys? Hop over, hang out for a second. Trilobit and I really don't know if you've been over on Raven Rights before. But, you know, his stream is currently, it's an Abuelitas and Fiction Kind of Monday, writing and rambling about writing. So, I implore you to stick around at least for like 10 minutes. Whoa. So, while I get that set up, that's all I have to say. That's all I have to write. And remember, no heroes in 2021. Thanks for sticking around for the stories. And I'll be back later this week. See you next time. Bye. I gotta find the right button. Bye.